Hey, it's Ty, your chaotic Goodie-Good, coming to you with an evening edition of my rewatch series for the Unwritten Rules. I'm sorry the video is going to be out a little bit late. It's been a hectic time. Your girl's been back in the gym and just been taking care of a lot of things, so that's why I'm filming the video a little later than I had hoped to, but at least we're here. We're staying consistent. And we're getting into this next episode of season 2. Now, in the last episode, we watched as Racey and her coworkers moved to a new building with their new CEO, Kanisha Jackson, and Juneteenth was happening. And Racey and some of the other coworkers were hoping for a lot of changes. But as Racey said, the more things change, the more things stay the same. So even though there may have been some change in mindset and there's a change in venue and there's a change in leadership, you may have some people who still want to hold on to the way that things were and they don't want to move along with the change. And I believe I've mentioned before, when I was working for my former organization, there was a lot of changes that were being implemented in our organization to recognize, understand, and make efforts towards diversity, equity, and inclusion. And looking back, a lot of those efforts were done in vain, right? A lot of them just wanted to keep up with what other people were doing. It was the trend at the time to actually care, and it's unfortunate. And you saw that within the people that were there who were so used to things being how they always were. And then when changes were coming down the pipeline, they were the ones that had the most to say and who were trying to fight against the changes that needed to happen within the organization. You guys can read more about it in my upcoming book, The Woman in the Back. How I almost became my worst self at the best organization, y'all. I can't wait. I am going to continue to be writing that. I have gotten more inspired and I want to become more disciplined and consistent with making sure that I'm getting this book together, because unfortunately it's a story a lot of people can relate to. But I hope that in sharing my story and in going through Racey's story, that there are people who are seen in the pages of my book or throughout this series or hearing about my stories, so that they can know that they're not alone. So we're going to get on with it. In today's episode, we are watching episode 13 titled The Itis.
White privilege,
Talk about it.
or as some may call it, entitlement, is a set of advantages and or immunities that white people benefit from on a daily basis, beyond those common to all others. You know what? Let's just look at an example, shall we?
Before we get into that, and this is an important conversation, I remember when I was going through stuff at my former organization and you had a lot of white people, and this is not stuff I necessarily brought up, but these are things that were in conversation with talking about and acknowledging the presence of white privilege. And I had a lot of my coworkers who felt because economically, like, they grew up poor, that they didn't have privilege. And it's like, that's not necessarily what white privilege means. It doesn't necessarily mean your economic status. It just means you are afforded certain things that other people, and specifically Black people, are not. So, for example, my coworker who, talked about how, well, she doesn't believe she has white privilege. She ended up kind of understanding at a point, but, she didn't believe she had it because she grew up poor. And the thing is, okay, let's say there's two people in a Family Dollar, right? They both there getting some odds and ends for the house, whatever. A poor white person and maybe a middle-class Black person. They're both in the Family Dollar at the same time. Nobody can tell or see that you are poor or that you are middle class or affluent. They can't even necessarily tell that by what you're dressed as. You could be a middle class or affluent person and be dressed in sweatpants and t-shirt and some Crocs. So let's say y'all are in the store. They can't see your economic status, but they can see that you're white, and they can see that this person is not white. The person who is non-white are more than likely to get followed around. They are more than likely to be hassled in that store than you are. That's privilege. As a white person, you are more likely to be given the benefit of the doubt. And unfortunately, that's been my experience, where I've had white coworkers who have done the most egregious things, but we've always had to be made to just understand. Just have to understand them, and that's just how they are. They didn't mean it that way. But then when I started speaking up for myself, or when I started advocating for the other Black people in the office, I was an angry Black woman. People felt like they didn't have to listen to me. They didn't have to communicate with me. They flat out ignored me. So your privilege is showing. Check that. Back to the episode. Oh, this little flip. This is cute.
Have you seen Lisa's status update? Oh, that's
she
right.
On Facebook.
You haven't accepted any of our friend requests.
I don't really have time for
she.
Facebook because I'm so busy working.
Well, I like that
Lisa
office
is having
chair.
a blast in Mexico.
I thought this heifer was on stress leave. She's partying it up in Mexico while I'm stuck at work doing my work and her work because Little Miss Social Media doesn't know how to alphabetize files. Who doesn't know that E comes before I? But I comes before E, except after C. Not in the alphabet. Boo.
Oh my
She's
God.
in Mexico?
Yeah. Her dad thought the family needed a vacation to distress from Brendan Gate.
Oh my God.
Have you submitted last month's POs? Because we really need to get everyone paid up by the end of this month.
I was going to talk to you about that. I don't really understand
Here come the
how you
tears.
guys do your POs.
Okay, didn't you do POs when you were working with Brendan?
Yeah, but that was months ago. I haven't done it in so long. And I think you do yours different.
See.
Well, we can go over it for the third time after lunch because we really need to have them submitted before you leave today.
Oh, I forgot. I have a mani-pedi today. I'm taking a long lunch.
Yo.
I asked Kathy and she said it was okay.
See. Oh.
Why did that woman think that bring your child to work day was a good idea? We're not a daycare.
I heard Kanisha is opening a daycare on the first floor.
Well, that's nice.
That's what I'm talking about. Why should this company be responsible for taking care of everyone's kids? If you can't
I'm
afford
pretty sure
a nanny,
the daycare
you
workers
shouldn't
will
have
watch
kids,
them.
period.
The parent still has to pay for the daycare. We're not going to pay for it out of our paychecks or anything.
Exactly.
Oh. So now the employees have to pay for a daycare that's run by the company? Sounds a little socialist to me.
I have to pause every so often just to take a break from this. I can tell Racey's getting closer to her breaking point. She has really tried to tolerate this behavior for so long, and even in her speaking up, it just is not enough. They have their mind made up about what things are. They don't even care how it's affecting her. This girl who was brought in to assist her, she wasn't even able to have a say in who was brought in, is tripping her up. Jessica's creating more work for Racey. Racey's saying, hey, we got to get these things done at the end of the day. And she's on Facebook watching Lisa in Mexico. And then Kathy is going to let her go and get her mani-pedi when her work is not done because, oh, Racey can do it. And that's another problem. Ooh, y'all. And excuse me, I know my energy is different today.
I'm so tired, child. I'm so tired. I'm really tired.
I'm tired. I'm really tired. I know that this is just this is a web series, but like I said, it's based on real things. I met with a friend of mine today who was a coworker of mine, and she wanted some feedback from me on something she was dealing with at this place that she worked and how these people like completely treated her like crap, put all this unnecessary work on her. She's the only Black person in the office while her coworkers were able to just get up and go and do what they want to do. And I'm tired of it. I am tired of this. You know, the saying, when you are a Black person, you have to work twice as hard to have half. That is true as all get out. It is absolutely true because we are constantly, unfortunately, in a position to have to always be proving ourselves, to be proving our worth. And then once you see our hard work, we get taken advantage of. And then the moment that we maybe speak up, or the moment we create boundaries, then we're a problem. So which is it? It's like that article, there's an article, it's called A Pet to Threat. When you come in, especially like if you are the only or one of the few Black people within that organization or that department, you are definitely judged at a harsher level. You are definitely, they're kind of looking at you like if you remember the first episode where Kathy said,
well, that went better than expected. She doesn't seem ghetto at all. And no worries. If she's too angry, we'll just blame our incompetence on her and get rid of her Black ass.
they want you to come in and be a safe Negro. They want you to be oh, yes, ma'am. Oh, no, sir. Okay. Yes. Oh, yeah, my work is done. Okay. Yes. All right. And you come in, of course, being cordial and polite because you're coming into a new job. You're trying to get your footing. You're trying to understand the work. But don't question them. The moment you ask questions, the moment you challenge them, that's when you become the threat. And that's when they start changing up on you. That's when they try to put more work on you. That's when they try to push you out. Shit really happens. So I really feel for Racey right now.
I am just glad no one in this department has kids.
Aww.
Racey, I didn't know you were a baby mama.
Microaggression.
I'm not. I don't know nothing about birthing no babies.
Are you from Africa?
There you are, Lizzie. You can't just run away like that.
Just fixing her little...
No.
Oh.
Where is this little girl's mama?
For real.
I didn't know you had kids.
Oh, no. Elizabeth is my little sister. My parents just adopted her from Africa. We got her from the same village as Mercy.
Oh
I
my
brought her down 'cause
God.
It'd be great for Lizzie to meet Racey.
Her face.
Fair skin. You know, for an African.
Get him again. Get him for me.
She deserved that slap.
She's in this no phase. We try not to use the word around her because it's so negative. But she's so feisty.
They ain't do that baby hair.
Feisty, huh? That little girl is bad. She better not test me, because Racey fights the kids.
Bam.
What?
Bam.
Bam! Okay.
Oh, look. She loves Racey. Maybe because they're both so similar.
I need her to stop talking. I wonder if Peter still has that poster in his office.
You were so good with her. Hey, Lauren. I'm going to get a mani-pedi at lunch. Wanna come?
Oh, sounds good, but
Maybe Racey can watch her.
What?
She's been working through lunch the past couple days.
I've been working through lunch because her lazy ass hasn't been working. And now she's pawning off work and kids on me?
Oh. Okay.
See,
Do you mind driving? My car's being serviced.
that is an issue. And she's still working while also watching this child.
800. Yeah. 432. Okay. Yeah.
Oh. Well, I'm glad somebody's looking out for this baby.
It does take a village.
And we make it look so easy. She done got the baby occupied and quiet, done did her hair, and is doing her work.
I have never seen her this calm.
Yeah, we went across the street during lunch and I bought her a doll.
And her hair.
Oh, this Harmony Pure Natural Blend stuff is amazing. Oh, Matt called.
Who's Matt?
I don't know, he just left a
And
voicemail.
taking this girl's messages.
This weird telemarketer.
Oh. Is he still here?
Kathy has an aversion to like black dolls,
Have
I
you
guess.
submitted the POs?
She was afraid of that black Santa.
It's just so overwhelming.
Here we go.
I've started, but it's just a lot of
They're
work.
crying.
And I'm trying to prioritize, but it's just so hard.
And Jessica will be given the benefit of the doubt and coddled and made to
don't you take the
feel
rest of the day
better.
off and
Oh,
just
take the day off. It's
Regroup.
okay.
I know this can all be very stressful. I'm sure Racey can cover everything. Oh, Racey, they do need to be done today, so
Of course they
you
do.
need to stay late. But I know you can handle it.
There it is.
Did you need anything? I could get you some chicken soup.
And there you have it. An up-close example of white privilege.
Oh. Baby spending the
What's
night
roots?
at Racey's.
Oh.
I'm glad she got a black person in her
This
life.
is Kunta Kinte. Can you say Kunta Kinte?
Transracial adoption. Don't even get me started.
That's my
I'm
girl.
glad she got a black person in her life. Rule number 13. A black coworker can always detect the symptoms of white privilegeitis. But don't worry, it's not contagious.
I don't know how they expect me to do all this work. I'm just one person. Isn't that why Racey's here? To help out?
Oh, to do your work?
I mean, she was babysitting that little African girl all day. But I am expected to meet all these deadlines.
Didn't you leave for a
I
mani-pedi?
see why Lisa had to take a stress leave. I am totally stressed out.
It can't be for real, I swear. Ah. So that's it, y'all. I don't have much else to say. I feel like I said a lot. Like I said, this kind of stuff really does happen. Maybe not to this extreme, a kid running through the office and you got to stay and watch the kid. Or maybe in some instances, somebody has experienced this, but definitely just having to do all the work while excuses are made for our white counterparts in the office, and being overlooked, and also being given more work, because once they see that you're good, they'll pile more work onto you. You know, what's very crazy to me is, like, in my former department where I had that canker sore of a director and my prejudiced coworkers and was dealing with all the microaggressions and everything else, the thing about it is I was exceptional at my job. My paperwork was good. My notes were detailed. My clients loved me and I loved them. I was helpful with my coworkers when it came to putting together their care plans. I was a good communicator. I was exceptional. When they had their audits every year, my files were always the ones that got pulled because my files were always the ones that made them look good on their audit. My other coworkers were not expected to work at the level I was working. As a matter of fact, sometimes the supervisors would do the work for them, but I was expected to always have my I's dotted and my T's crossed. Let me have a slip up, and then it's a big issue. But anyway, y'all have a good night. Please like, subscribe, and share my videos, and I'll catch y'all next week. And thank you for tuning in. Have a good night. Bye.